Talking about applying, there's a statement that we say, and at times we say it in all honesty, with with deep earnest feeling that someday I'm going to be big, I'm going to be great, or someday things are going to change. And I think sometimes we abuse that statement. We has like, okay, I think majunyanya. Someday actually we are saying, we are nani, right? So we want to talk about that statement. It's good to say it, but you are saying it in what regard? You are saying it in what direction? You are saying it connected to what? Are you even working towards something for you to even say one day?
Holla holla, it's your boy George Billionaire. Monday. As always, Monday is a very important and pivotal day of the week, because Monday is when we are sure that we get your tank filled up on hustle hard to make sure that you're provoked, inspired, and equipped. Now, one thing is true about success, and I won't stop saying it, and I'll keep on saying it until all of us get it. Success is an inside job. And the more you hang around success, the more you hang around successful conversations, the more you hang around people with a mindset that you don't have, the more you actually become like the people you hang around with. So today on Hustle Hard, I'm fired up, I'm charged up. I can tell you, make sure you subscribe, and watch all the Hustle Hard series. Every single video is gonna change your mindset. Because I know you are not born to be ordinary. You were born to become a great, amazing human being, to provide a product and a service that 1,000 years down the line, people are going to remember you for the amazing impact you made on this planet. Let's go.
My name is Farrow Kampira. Today is my first day being part of the JB mentorship. I had a very, very beautiful time, and it was quite innovative, and I learned a lot. I learned to be a powerful person. I've learned about how best I can start a business, how best I can improve in business if I am in business. So I encourage anyone who is going to be watching this video to come and join the JB mentorship, and I believe you will never be the same again.
It's a Monday on Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. The name is Becky K, and you're tuned into The Pulse. From now until 1 o'clock, we do what we call Hustle Hard with our favorite business coach. Yeah, I think we'll call him that. Our favorite business coach. He goes by many names, but the ultimate favorite name that we've grown to like here on the show is to call him Uncle Billy. He's George Billionaire, owner and air conditioning systems, amongst other businesses that he owns. But if you mention air conditioning, that's the first name that comes to your mind. Nobody else's name in Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? If you say air conditioning, it's George. It's George. It's like what's his name? Dr. Solomon Guramatunu. He might not even be there at the location, but as long as people are looking at eyes, Dr. Guramatunu, that's the name George is creating for himself right there. You talk about air conditioning, and you're like, and then now you know. 0719-100-404 is the WhatsApp number. You're going to send through your messages, your questions, your comments, or your contributions to that number, and all the things that have to do with what we're discussing today, you can send them through. Uncle Billy,
holla holla,
it's your boy,
George Billionaire. As always, on a Monday, we're here on Hustle Hard. And you know what I love about Monday Hustle Hard?
Talk to me.
It's, every car needs some fuel. And on Monday, we're here to make sure that we fill up your tank every single Monday, to make sure that you're fueled up and you go on this journey called life with some positivity. We're trying to give people some positive fuel, some inspirational fuel, some keep going fuel, so that people can actually ultimately become what God purposed them to be. I feel my mandate here on Hustle Hard and on radio and everywhere I go to speak, my main purpose and mandate that God sent me to do and be is to speak into people's lives, just like somebody did to me many years ago, which has resulted me in being the person that I am. So when people see where they are today, it's a sum total result of what they heard or did not hear. So when you're tuned into Capital, trust you me, every single Monday, the most listened to program that provokes, inspires, and equips you, trust you me, it's a matter of time until you begin to now take action on that thing that God purposed you to be. So welcome to all the pulses. Becky K, it's good to have you back.
Good to be here.
We've been going on talking about association, don't settle for less, keep on going, focus on you, don't hang out with chickens, move out of your parents' houses.
We've been doing it.
We've been, really getting at people. But the most important thing, and our mandate always, is to deliberately provoke you into acting upon something, because we don't want you to not fulfill your God-ordained purpose and mandate.
Come on.
Because you say, I never went to school, I never got inspiration, I didn't have a mentor. Those are excuses. You've got Becky K and George Billionaire here every single Monday, who are giving you some insights, some thought-provoking conversations to get you going. And once you learn, you begin to earn. So the things that you are learning, you will never earn unless you begin to apply them into play.
Talking about applying, there's a statement that we say, and at times we say it in all honesty, with deep earnest feeling that someday I am going to be big, I'm going to be great, or someday things are going to change. And I think sometimes we abuse that statement. Yeah, we have like, okay, I think majunyanya.
Yeah.
Someday actually we are saying, we are nani.
Yeah.
Right? So we want to talk about that statement. It's good to say it, but you are saying it in what regard? You are saying it in what direction? You are saying it connected to what? Are you even working towards something for you to even say one day? When you're making a dress or making something, you are actually working on something.
Yeah.
So you're like, you say you're going to start selling dresses, really? No, someday. Because you're actually working on something.
Yeah.
And then there's, when are you going to start selling the stuff that you said you're going to say, someday?
Yeah.
But you're doing nothing. Or are you going to make the dresses yourself, or are you going to be ordering? So I think that's someday. One day.
Yeah.
Like we say statements of encouragement, but we're sitting on those things and we're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
So is there a way out of those statements, or and we just focus on those who are actually doing something?
I think the main purpose and mandate people need to realize why they were sent on earth is to fulfill something. See, everybody who's alive and well today, you have a thing called time, and that time is not always going to be there. Now, the amazing thing of a thing called time, it's the only thing that God gave every single person on earth the same amount of. So all of us have 24 hours in a day. But what you do with that 24 hours in a day determines ultimately what you become. So to people who want to procrastinate and put off things for tomorrow, understand one thing that is very certain. I think the worst thing that anybody can ever live with, especially when they get to old age, is a simple word called regret. And that is the most painful thing that one can live with, to say, I wish that time when we had the ZWL, I wish I just took that mortgage or started that business, or I wish behind my yard I would have just started cabbages at a small scale and actually done something. Or I wish I had just started the journey of entrepreneurship before I got fired from work when it was too late. I wish I had started. So die, and Moshona die panetsuma noti dai kufunga kwebenzi.
Yeah.
And you do not want to keep die. The most important thing with life, especially with the limited amount of time that we have, we need to make use of the times. But people, because they think they have a lot of time, they keep procrastinating and holding back taking action towards things. Now, in this life, there are two types of people. There are people who make excuses and people who take action.
Right.
And people who take action are people who utilize time. Whereas people who make excuses think they have a lot more time. So they'll keep saying someday, Chaita Mangwana, and they suffer from procrastination. So procrastination, poverty, excusetizes are all, relatives of a thing that leads you to becoming poor and unfulfilled as an individual. So it's important people realize time is of the essence. Let's make the most of it. If you want to do something, all the greats that you hear about on planet Earth, all of them utilized their time very well. This weekend with the Amazing G's, we were reading an amazing book, and it was talking about time management and how the greats, we read about Mother Teresa, we read about Muhammad Gandhi, we read about Michael Jackson, we read about all these great people who ever lived. The reason their names are still being spoken about many hundreds and thousands of years later is because they utilized their short time on this planet called Earth. And what people don't realize, as long as you're listening to this, every 100 years the Earth is recycling the old with the new. And the reason why you read names and you know about specific people, could kwangu Becky K and George Billionaire in the year this to that, it's because those people, for them to be written about, they utilized the thing called time. Wakaona even mu Bible mushoko ra Mwari wakaona vanhu vakanyorwa mazita avo. Those are people who played a specific role, who in their time they were known for something. Whether it's Lazarus, whether it's Daniel, whether it's Jeremiah, whether it's Elizabeth, whether it's Naomi, whether it's David, I could go on. But wakaona munhu asina kunyorwa zita rake. If you look at it deliberately, those people didn't utilize time. Which leads me to a question I want to ask the pulsars today. And this is an exercise that we did over the weekend with my family. Last week I was talking about how I lost a very dear friend of mine. And unfortunately she went to be with the Lord at 34, very early age. But this is to the pulsars. And I want to urge you to do this. I want you to close your eyes wherever you are and visualize this thing. Now imagine you are going to a funeral, right? You walk into the church, the people are there surrounded, and they are there to pay their last respect to somebody. You see so many familiar faces, people there, and there's a program. And as you are walking to the front of the church, and you look at the coffin, it's open, and you see yourself inside that coffin. And you look around, and there's so many people, some weeping, some crying. You get to see who came, who didn't come. And you get back. Now you can open your eyes. Now you get back. What is it that you think people are going to remember you for? What is it that people are going to say in utilizing the time you had on this planet? And this is something that people take for granted because they don't get to see the end. They are considering the immediate. What are your kids going to say? What are people in your community going to say? Did you utilize your time that you left a system, a family well taken care of, a business running? What are people going to remember you for? And this is the key thing about utilizing time. What are you doing with your time? And that exercise got us to realize the important things and the non-important things. Because there are things which are important. What are people going to say about Becky K, about George Billionaire? Wow, Becky was an amazing MC, was an amazing media personality. She was an amazing brand ambassador. Wherever she went, she always ministered the word of God. Because guess what? That's what you're focusing your time on. But majority of people don't know how to utilize their time. Some people listening to me now, the way you treat your helpers at home, the way you treat people around you, just because you're up there, understand life is life. but it's so important to, utilize time and what you're going to be remembered for. So it's important as we go on to realize that time is of the essence. Let's be people who take into regard this thing called time, and especially what people are going to remember us for. Because we all have the same 24 hours, but when you're gone, remember the world, after a week you're gone, people forget about you and they're living their lives and people move on. But if you use your time wisely, if you leave a product or a service that lives long after you, like Steve Jobs did, like, all these are the people who invented Henry Ford up until now, he's left a legacy that people read about him, and he totally utilized his time.
Uncle Ding, and that really got me thinking. I actually went to my funeral. And it does get you thinking about what is it that I'm doing now that's going to benefit my future generation when I'm gone. Are they going to be happy with the name that I left, or are they going to be putting out fires? What you see my troubles?
True that.
Or it's like, hey, may her soul rest in peace, because she really set us up.
Yeah. Becky, someday is a disease. Going back to our topic of today, someday is a disease that will take your dreams to the graveyard with you. Someday, right? Procrastinating, keeping on saying someday. And as you've gone to your own funeral today, right? Imagine, what is it that you are keeping on procrastinating about? Hands and knives out to all those people who thought it was going to be an easy show today. Right. So it's important that, one of the key things that I did many years ago was I decided to jump ship and begin a journey called Pro Air, and began to offer a product and a service to people. And you know what? Whether I'm here for the next 30, 40, 50 years, there's something that I have left my name with here on planet Earth. One of my favorite speakers of all time, Miles Monroe, has said this many times. The richest place on planet Earth is the graveyard, because many people died with unfulfilled potential. They did not give birth to certain businesses. They did not give birth to certain ideas, products, and services, and they died virtually full. They had a full tank, and they died with a full tank because they kept saying, someday I'll start. You know what? I'll plant the seed when the environment is okay. You keep procrastinating until, guess what? You don't have time left and you're gone. So to people out there, it's important to realize that we should never settle for average, like we spoke about on the other show. We were all sent here to be great. Becky asked an amazing question. Were we all meant to be great? According to the plan of God, when you were created, biologically speaking, God sent you on this planet and chose specifically you. Becky, when you think about the biological facts of 600 million sperm, and one goes and connects, and God says, I chose you to go and create a form, you to go and invent a car, you to go and start Pro Air, you to go and become a household name in the media, you to go and, when the inauguration of the president happens, you, a gift from Southern Africa, will be chosen. All this was God's plan, but majority of people don't see it, and they keep procrastinating. The worst type of person on this planet is somebody who fails to plan. Now, in life, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail.
True.
Right? And a lot of people think that, the life that's happening on them is just happening to them. But you determine the type of life that you want by planning.
Wait. Are you just, wait, hold it. A whole minute. Back it up. Are you reversing? Are you saying life doesn't just happen?
Life does not just happen.
George.
You do not. You are directly responsible for the type of life you live. You.
What about okay.
You are directly responsible for the type of life you want.
Okay.
You.
All right.
So there is a season, Becky. I know you're taking this. Remember, to a lot of people who say, George, this entrepreneurship is for everyone thing. A lot of people forget the aspect that George once upon a time worked for 6 years of his life in preparation of becoming this person that he is. But George deliberately had a plan wherever he was working. He knew the bigger picture. He knew ndakakurira ku Glenora, but it doesn't determine that ndichafandiri ku Glenora.
Okay.
There was always a zeal, chishuo, an ambition to want to be better and greater. So to people who are at lower level management, sweeping, listening to us, they are in middle level management, understand life and time. You know, I love Ecclesiastes 3 verse 10. It goes to say time and chance happen to us all, right? But what happens is, in the process of God molding you, right, there's a time where people are going to recognize and see Becky K, right? And what does Becky do? Because you have chosen a path to say, hey, for all your events, I'm an MC. For anybody who wants brand ambassador, I'm there. Before people started approaching you, you had to let it be known out there.
Yes.
Right? So this goes back to the thing that the life you want is determined by you. If you continue to see yourself just being a worker and nothing bigger,
You won't make any moves.
you remain that.
Okay.
But to everybody out there, you were not sent by God here on planet Earth to just have one stream of income. Becky, I know you personally. You are here on radio.
Yes.
This is something you do for 3 hours of your day. Before you came here, you were doing other things.
Yes.
After you leave here, you are doing other things.
Yes.
So you are fulfilling your purpose and mandate because you are not relying on one stream of income.
Yeah.
Which is what I and you on Hustle Hard are trying to speak to people. Kuti, your job alone is not the only thing you should solely depend on. Because that was not God's intent and purpose.
Absolutely wasn't.
In the Bible, we have Joseph. A lot of people think that, yes, Joseph shared a dream. He had to go through all of that. And it took 17 years until his dream was then realized. But through that time, it was hard. It was tough. He was sold out. A lot went through. But that was all orchestrated by God for fulfillment of purpose. It might have been hard at the beginning. He might have felt betrayed. He might have this, that, and the other. But all of it, he had something in his heart. He had a vision of him becoming great. So there's so many people who have about seeing themselves greater, but they can't correlate it with where they are now. Which is why we always try and impact here on Hustle Hard. You know what? Everything happens for a reason. But the person who determines how high you fly is you.
So are you saying even in the moment where life happens, I have a choice?
People have choices. You're only where you are because of the choices you made, Becky.
Disaster strikes. I've lost. Maybe I've listened to George, and I tried to start a business. It works well for 3 months, and then 4th month, yay, it's bad. I feel like I've lost everything. So my decision to start all over again or to give up is what's going to set me apart.
That's great. And I've said here on Hustle Hard, Becky, one of the things that made me who I am, you know, George is a multi-award serial entrepreneur. I failed many times. I've told you on this show. There's so many things I've tried that I failed. But the key thing that kept me going and kept me sane was my surroundings. We spoke about this last week about association. And I can keep talking about it. Once you fail and you go back to your chicken friends, they'll say, we told you, Becky, you're back. Just stay with that one stream, right? But the people around me supported me, told me, George, Pauka Kanyaga, you got money and you went and bought a brand new car. That was the wrong decision. You should have used that.
My name is Ru Faro Kampira. Today is my first day.
We always say, Becky, fail is not
being part of the JB mentorship. I had a very, very beautiful time, and it was quite innovative, and I learned a lot. I learned to be of a person. I've learned about how best I can start a business, how best I can improve in business if I am in business. So I encourage anyone who is going to be watching this video to come and join the JB mentorship, and I believe you will never be the same again. I am a winner. I am a believer. I am who God says I am.
With failure to do that, anything bad travels quicker than anything good. So when you say you have failed, always go back, look at the lessons, go to somebody, and they'll ask you questions. How did you present this case? How did you supply this? You see, you delayed to supply this. This is why that person didn't want to pay you. Next time, make sure, honor your word. If you're going to be there on Wednesday, don't tell them on Wednesday you're not going to be there. So it's important that we learn from our mistakes and we just get away from this putting things off. Otherwise, we'll never become what we're supposed to be.
9 minutes to 1 o'clock. Keep sending through your comments, your questions, and your contributions. When we come back from the ad break, we'll get into them. George Billionaire still in the building to answer them all. We're back with Uncle Billy and getting into some questions, into some contributions. Uncle Billy, what do you do with someone like me? I feel very comfortable. What do you do with someone like me? I feel very comfortable in the place that I'm at. I don't have extra income, but I do feel what you are saying, and I want to make more money, but I'm really comfortable, Uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle.
Wow.
And but really comfortable, Uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Said that a place called the comfort zone. Nothing ever grows in that place. So nothing grows in the comfort zone. And remember what we spoke about time. You're comfortable now for a season. But one thing I always tell people who say they are comfortable, imagine your current income was to be cut off totally. You know, that's not a nice thought for a lot of people. But imagine that job that you have, which is comfortable. There are many jobs out there which are very comfortable, trust you me. But the more comfortable you get, trust you me, there's nothing that's going to grow. The one day that they change the structure, a new CEO comes, new board of directors come. As a wife, maybe your husband was getting a big package and a lot of money is being kept with you. The moment that stops, you don't want to at that time now start thinking, what can I do? There's a lot of people currently now, you know, Becky, who are utilizing land and, you know, doing cabbages. Some are doing all sorts of things, right? They're comfortable. But then the most dangerous person on planet Earth is somebody who's comfortable. You know, I was reading this book that says, do you know the best time to kill a crocodile? The best time to kill a crocodile is just when it has had something to eat, because it's comfortable. And a lot of people who have a lot of disposable income right now think they are okay. But remember, that which you have eaten or that which you have acquired is going to run out in 3, 6, a year down the line. What are you going to do after? That's a key question a lot of people need to be able to address. So I always tell people, you know, we have a mentorship class, Becky, which we ask these questions with a lot of people. What would you do if you didn't have this job? You're comfortable earning whatever you're earning. What would you do? You know, a lot of people say, I'll go back into okay, let's say there are no jobs. How would you survive? What product or service do you think you could offer? And then this is where people now start thinking, let me start doing this as a side hustle. And then it begins to pay. If you then get a job later, but that side hustle is running, at least it's an additional stream of income, which can take care of you in a season where your product and service are not going well. So our message, as always, Becky, is to get people out of the one source of income mentality. Ultimately, when that one source, when they get that second, I want you to promote yourself and be full-time on your side hustle and see how it will blow up and begin to bear so much more fruit, because you would have given it time and it's now at least meeting what you are happy with as your salary. You see, so people shouldn't be comfortable. She says that, he says that now, but it's a matter of time. People who are comfortable, success is not a destination, right? You finish building your house, you think you've arrived. Remember, that house is wanting to be painted. It needs maintenance. The grass needs to be cut. Just because you have arrived at another level, there are certain things now, certain bills now. Now you need 3 maids to take care of your big mansion. There's certain expenses which come. And if you are still under the same type of revenue, Maria ichapera quicker. So never be comfortable. Always be somebody who is always leveling up and seeing how better can I increase my streams of income, because it's key. Just relying on that one. Worst of it is if it's a job, it's not guaranteed. Things can change. A lot of people can be retrenched. The company didn't make profits and they're cutting off a lot of jobs. Yours happens to be that one. That package for the 6, 8, 10, 12, 20 years you've worked is not going to do it.
No, it's not.
Not with your kids who are being, paid their school fees by that company.
Yeah, you were not even paying the school fees.
Imagine that. Now you have to face those things by yourself. So don't be comfortable, pausers. Let's always strive to do something extra on top of our ordinary. So we become extraordinary human beings who are just not reliant on one stream, and we do a whole lot more.
When is the masterclass?
Right, we're having a masterclass. So many people have asked Becky. We had one last month. We're having a masterclass every single month now.
Oh,
so
like
our masterclass is happening on the 3rd of August. And people can register virtually. There's a QR code for those who follow me, George Billionaire on Instagram and all platforms. Scan that, register, limited places. For more information, contact 0712 840 840. Again, 712 840 840. So just get in touch with that and be a part. There are a lot of people who say, George, we want to be a part of, a lot more conversations regarding entrepreneurship. And our topic this time is how to get from where you are to where you want to be.
Love it.
So it's going to be jam-packed, full of amazing knowledge, wisdom, and you're also affiliating with other similar mind people to help you grow.
Got a final message here, contribution. Well, plenty contributions today. People just saying that was powerful. Thank you for the
if you want to drive cool, work cool, and stay cool. Remember, say, we run the thing out here, then brother, we're not going
your
good.
wisdom has been
Because
helping
we
me to
make
push
the
through the
weather
hard times
behave.
and difficult
Bro,
times.
yeah, do it
And
like
I'm
on
not
television.
till
Stand
they
the
come
thing.
big time.
Hey,
This is
and now you want to pass permission.
Yeah.
But it's amazing
Up
the
on the
feedback we're
competition.
getting from
Jesus,
people
Baba,
who
Baba,
say,
Nikati, kujitono dinokuzisa kana kuchipinza dinokutonoza unotospera uchitonorerwa kana wachiponera tokubizira bro ine magets aone kwenye testament energy izina kana nokaukileta kana mahita kana ni mafeni kana wapata wanokusikira ndi bro ine magets aone kwenye testament energy izina kana nokaukileta kana mahita futile mafeni
and need. I think it's more of a need than I want.